even know what it costs. I hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, I can't take no loss. Yeah, I don't even know what it costs. Yeah, I hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, run it. Ooh, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year. Yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year. Yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year. Yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my pen ready. Used to hold myself back, my self-esteem damn bad. Gotta keep on chugging, ran through everything in front of me. Might smoke bed in heaven, got a whole agenda. Can't aspire to get ahead, so bump that, it's no surrender. Got a dollar flipped up, I'm trying to get it an FT to get them when they're hand and crypto. Learn how to fix that. I don't really hold out of books, but I'ma learn how to fix that. Some opportunities are never come unless you paying attention, so no, I can't miss that. Moving, MVP, I got the record, I might have to pro something. Big jumper worthy, they gon' have to retire my jersey early. Whole crew coming, had to work something, cause I had nothing in my pocket. Yeah, I did all that. Big plans, partners trying to make profits. Yeah, I did all that. Work, sweat, and tears breaking, even no ends. Yeah, I did all that. Had to make it happen. Putting hours in my practice, I did all that. Yeah, I can't take no loss. Yeah, I don't even know what it costs. I hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, I can't take no loss. Yeah, I don't even know what it costs. Yeah, I hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, run it. Ooh, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year. Yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year. Yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year. Yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my big dog, walking big talk, young veteran, living legend, bet I'm better than them. This is my ship, I'm a jacket like Letterman. Y'all better not let them in, they gon' rotate this, so I keep the pedaling. Started a chain, the cycle is heaven sent. This is from God, but I'm not your reverend, not in the pulpit. I'm a pit bull in this element, yeah. Said you gon' pull up, then settle it, yeah. I've been married to this hustle, this is my ring, watch I step in it, yeah. And I ain't even got a yard, but I'ma get it here. Watch I touch down, pulling plans out the clutch. Everybody getting crushed, the cut down is for us now. Have to work something, cause I had nothing in my pocket, yeah, I did all that. Big plans, partners trying to make profits, yeah, I did all that. Work, sweat, and tears breaking, even no ends, yeah, I did all that. Had to make it happen, putting hours in my practice, I did all that. Yeah, I can't take no loss, yeah, I don't even know what it costs. I hit the ground, then it go off, yeah, hit the ground, then it go off, yeah, I can't take no loss, yeah, I don't even know what it costs. Yeah, I hit the ground, then it go off, yeah, hit the ground, then it go off, yeah, run it. Ooh, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year. Yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year. Yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year. Yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my. Yeah.
Yeah, I got money on my phone and money on me. I got all these hoes, but still lonely. They been blowing on that strong, but still so weak. I've been higher than a drone, but still low-key. We been sitting on the floor, they in the nosebleeds. Lately I've been in control, they can't control me. Yeah, they about to get exposed for being so cheap. I've been sticking to the code and I ain't gon' cheat. Yo, grew my hair and took the grill out. Think it's time to put it back in. Trying to get into that big house, turn the crib into the mansion. Needed something with that big bounce. You know I had to hit Jackson. Aaron Rodgers with the quick routes. I'm with the gang, we packing. We on the field at Lambo. Might peel in a Lambo. Running drills in my camo. They know what the M stand for. Still got fam in Hawaii, yeah. Couple fans in the lobby, yeah. Couple grand in my pocket, yeah. Couple grams of wasabi, yeah. Eye it up, no glasses. Light it up, no matches. Wife it up, no ratchets. Might turn my wife to an actress. And we gon' make a movie, no Kim K. Give a fuck about what your friends say. I got money on my phone and money on me. I got all these hoes, but still lonely. They been blowing on that strong, but still so weak. I've been higher than a drone, but still low-key. We been sitting on the floor, they in the nosebleeds. Lately I've been in control, they can't control me. Yeah, they about to get exposed for being so cheap. I've been sticking to the code and I ain't gon' cheat.
I'm just sticking to the code, I keep it so G. She asked me what I smoke, I'm smoking OG. I don't fool with too many, only catch me 4 deep. Gotta stay away from snakes, swear these people so creep. I've been grinding for a minute, many labels so sleep. These rappers drop a song, be hot for about a week. I put Gucci on my toes, I keep some cold feet. I ain't paying for no hoe, you niggas know me. I'm about to body the beat. I keep me a hottie with me. She wanna for a fee. Give me that for free. Keep me some money on me. Smoking the gas key. You with me, sheesh. But need OG Keith.
I got money on my phone and money on me. I got all these hoes, but still lonely. They've been blowing on that strong, but still so weak. I've been hiding a drone, but still low-key. We've been sitting on the floor, they in the nosebleeds. Lately I've been in control, they can't control me. Yeah, they about to get exposed for being so cheap. I've been sticking to the code and I ain't gon' cheat.
Yeah. Head up in the clouds, though they saying I look stressed. I've been feeling down, pray to God that I'm up next. Remember when she blew me off, that's why I can't text. Now she call me petty, but I swear I can't forget. This ain't a test. Now they saying that I ball like Jerry West. Coming back for what is mine, can't take no less. I said go and take a shot, so I need your best. And stop the threats, so nobody's into me. I don't got time, I'm not giving the energy. Too many people around me, I'm finicky. I do not mess with you, dog, you're not kidding me. You don't got way too close. I've been up at the top now, so they all wait for the landslide. I seen too many people that switched up, whose man's high. Through it all, I stay the same, I swear to God, I can't lie. Been down so damn low that I came up for my life. They talk way too much on the internet, it's not real life. I swear my fam waiting, I can't lose, and I'm still right. Still right, I swear that I'm working them up till like midnight. It's real life, I got a time and I'm coming to get mine. In time, I cannot lose and I'm coming right inside. I'm in mine, yeah.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on the road, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like. Yeah, you about to see me on demand like. You know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on the road, here we go. Yeah, at the top of the class on a roll. Ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the road, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on the road, here we go. Yeah, at the top of the class on a roll. Ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the road, here we go. Here we go. On the road, here we go.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Frankie Candles live stream every single weekday right here at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where sometimes we start the stream with no dang audio. But what I was saying was that you guys have me cracking up in the chat. Shout out to Al Jr. said, why does it smell like plastic in here all the time? You guys are wild. Shout out to Hamza said, I agree, Frankie's preaching right now. But yeah, Al Jr. said, why does it always smell like plastic in here? And Vegas Claw said, Frankie the type of guy to buy water from the store and then go release it into the ocean. Shout out to Vegas Claw. You guys are funny. The Mafia is definitely not only the smartest crypto community out there, but also the funniest. But shout out to everybody in the chat. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate every single one of you guys for tuning in. And Bitcoin continuing its sideways range here right below key resistance, guys. Are we going to get the breakout to 107K, or are we going to get the bigger retracement down to either $100,000 or $97,000? I want to break down the charts with you guys, and I'll be honest, guys, there are some mixed signals on the chart, so I'm going to give you the bullish case, the bearish case, and then which way I'm leaning and my personal bias and my plans for future trades here, moving up either into higher prices or continuing down to hopefully not, but potentially $97,000 or below. So shout out to the Candle Mafia. Oh, my God. Some late chats coming in here saying no audio. I almost just snapped this dang mic. But, yeah, we got it back. Hopefully, you guys can hear me now. But shout out to the Candle Mafia. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate every single one of you guys for hanging out here with your boy, Frankie Candles, and the Candle Mafia to do. We're not doing 2 hours of TA today, guys. I am going to make this a little bit of a quicker live stream. I know it's a meme, hashtag short stream. But, yeah, shout out to Proud Gun Owner. What is going on? Said, how Coinbase gets scammed through support. You can never reach support. Yo, shout out to Proud Gun Owner, bro. Yo, you guys are wild, man. That's actually a pretty good point. But yeah, shout out to Proud Gun Owner. We got CJ in the chat. We got Marcus Giga Longbottom. What is going on, bro? Welcome in. We got Jesse, our like police. If he asks you to smash that like button, guys, go ahead and touch it with your butt. Fondle it. We don't care. Headbutt it. We don't care. Just smash that like button an odd amount of times if you hit it more than once. Let's see. Shout out to Grass Monkey. Said back up a bit. Head is enormous. Yo, it's actually funny. Actually, if you see me in real life, I actually have a pretty small head. But shout out to you. I actually did zoom in the camera the other day. So my head actually might look a little bit bigger. But anyway, let's continue on here. Let's see. We got Squatch Knows Crypto. Welcome in. Said, I love you, Frankie. I love you back, Squatch. What is going on, man? We got Mike Bennett in the chat. Codon. What is going on? We got Kareem in the chat. Said, are you going to check all the important coins? Shout out to Kareem. We're going to take a look at Bitcoin. We will take a look at the big boy altcoins. We'll take a look at Ethereum, Solana, XRP, and then we'll take a couple of requests from the chat. Actually, we were looking at XRP, pointing to a potential correction. We did see that little bit of a dump, so we'll cover that. Let's see. I like the big head, baby. Shout out to Cade. Yeah, should we zoom in here a little bit, guys? Talk about a big... You want to see a big head, guys. You want to see a big head. There we go. What is going on, everybody? I'm just kidding. We can't do that. We can't do that, guys. We can't do that. Bada boom. Oh, God. Now we're never going to get it back to where it was. Oh, God. Oh, God. Is that good? All right, I think we're back. But anyway, let's go ahead and continue on. Let's see. Never shorten the stream. Shout out to Pong. Me either, bro. We're always 100x long in the Frankie Candles live stream. Pepe coin. Maybe we'll take a look at Pepe. We haven't taken a look at Pepe in a while, and I think I just made a new Pepe chart. Oh, my God, don't do that. Shout out to Black Haze. But, yeah, guys, don't forget to show the mods some love in the chat. We got Chemistry Bro. We got Crypto Anon, Crypto Billy, Tyler Durden. You guys know who they are. Show them some love in the chat. Let's see. Big Head Frankie Candles. Let's go. Shout out to Codon. 10-year bull run. Shout out to Jose. Man, they've been calling for the 10-year bull run forever. I mean, let's be honest, guys. Let's go ahead and jump right on into the charts. But let's just be honest here. Peanut and Pangu. I am going to write some, don't spam. You don't have to spam your altcoins right now, but Pangu was something we wanted to look at yesterday. I don't think we did. Peanut, we never look at. Maybe we'll take a look at Peanut. I'll try to get to as many requests, but hold your requests for a little bit deeper into the stream, guys. But real quick, at the end of the day, I mean, isn't Bitcoin just in a, a multi, it's been in a bull run pretty much ever since it was incepted? ever since inception. It's basically just been a insane bull run since I guess 2009. Let's see. Zoom out far enough, and it's kind of like a yo, wow, shout out to Chemistry Bro. Front running you on that one. Yeah, it is kind of like a 10-year bull run. Pretty crazy, right? But yeah, let's go ahead and continue on here, guys. As you know, Bitcoin sitting here at This is the Bitstamp chart. I was like, where's all my TA? Let's see. Hey, yo, shout out to Frank the Tank. Thank you for the super chat, bro. I appreciate that so much. He says, thanks again for the great content. Shout out to Frank the Tank. Hey, we're here every weekday, 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, giving you the levels and the key levels and key TA. I don't know what I was going to say, but we're giving you all the sauce here so you're not lost on the next big move on Bitcoin. Let's see. All right, so let's continue on. Potential breakout. Yeah, we're going to talk about that, guys, because as you know, I'm going to start here on the higher time frames. Very nice move, guys. Up from the massive bull divs that we were looking at the low, 786, weekly naked point of control. Old news. I'm not going to cover that, but I just want to show, right, very, very strong uptrend, almost zero, right? Higher time frame opportunities for a bigger pullback and a long entry. And oftentimes, guys, when Bitcoin gets into these explosive moves to the upside, sometimes it doesn't want to give you those dips. And it does seem like this is somewhat of a similar situation. And, the question here today that I want to talk about, or kind of try to answer, or give our best guess, I should say, are we going to just kind of hit up against resistance here and squeeze to the upside, hitting our next targets above, sitting at about $107,000? Or as we look at these volume profiles, guys, we have gone from the low to the POC to the value area high for that full fill of the range. This is typically where we look for resistance, and I am holding a short position. With my profits taken, stop loss at break even. So if we do get the bigger pullback, I can capitalize on letting that short run. But there's some mixed signals here, guys. I'm going to try to make it as clear as possible. But the question is, are we going to break out here into our next key level at about 107,000? Or are we going to kind of get a bigger pullback, potentially down towards the POC of the range? And then the third option is maybe we just continue to chop around here. And I'm going to show you the key levels down here. I'm going to show you the local key levels if we kind of continue to range but don't go to 97K. I'm going to show you the key levels I want to hold. And then we'll go over market cipher B, etc. But just grand scheme of things, value area high, $105,447. Just remember, laws of the volume profile do state, hey, if we can't get above this value area high, if we get stuck in here, it does open up the door to potentially get a bigger pullback to around $96,500, $97,000. There's a couple of levels in here that I'm watching. And obviously, we looked at this yesterday, pulling our Fibonacci retracement from the low of this range all the way to the high. We do have nice confluence here on the POC of the range, right? So, at the end of the day, if we do come down here, guys, this is an area where I 100% will be looking for bounces and long positions in the premium Discord. But, I was talking about this earlier today. Once we get down to this POC, this is the must-hold area. 786, we looked at this last night, $94,684. Once we lose, $94,684, at that point, we are then getting accepted below our POC, right? We're losing our 786, which is a key area to potentially put in a higher low before higher prices. And so once we get stuck under there, guys, I would say the line in the sand here at 94,684, I think we covered this last night. If we lose that, we're below the POC. That's just naturally bearish, right? But we have to be careful because if we do pull back there, you can slip that POC slightly and bounce off the 786, reclaim, and then send it to the upside. That's definitely something we could potentially see happen. But we'll have to see what happens if we even get down there, right? Like I said, we haven't really seen bigger retracements yet on this big move to the upside. But, with the context here of this being the value area high, it is definitely in the cards, right? If I was not paying attention to anything other than the volume profile, right, we would just say, well, hey, there's definitely an opportunity here to get a bigger pullback. So we have to be open for that. And when we look at market cipher B, you can actually see here, when we look at some of these time frames, guys, I'm not going to lie, right? 4-hour money flow kind of flat. But if we start looking at some of this other money flow here, you have 90-minute money flow in the red. You have the 80-minute money flow in the red, VWAP rolling over as well. Start coming up to some of these higher time frames. You can see 6-hour money flow starting to trend out. You have your 12-hour money flow also. This is nothing to really write home about, in my opinion, but it is technically trending to the downside. 10-hour money flow is trending out as well. So, this is kind of the mixed signals, right? As I said yesterday, right? I do feel pretty good in this aggressive uptrend. The fact that we came down here and tapped this golden pocket at about $101,300, or we kind of dipped down below that at about $100,008. This is a big zone to hold, and this is that local level that I've been talking about. And I'm going to cover this a little bit more in a second. But when we just look at the grand scheme of things, we're at resistance. We do have the money flow trying to come to the downside here, and it's kind of the mixed signals here, right? We do have the 8-hour green dot, checking that 30-minute money flow. It has been kind of attempting to cruise up towards that zero line. And I think the title says, this must happen, right? Bitcoin ready to explode, but this must happen first. And that thing that I'm talking about, guys, is the same thing that we looked at last night. If we can get the 12-hour green dots, 16-hour green dot, with our 1 hour money flow crossover, which has been bing-bonging around here, very, very choppy. But if we can get that 1 hour money flow crossover, that 45-minute money flow crossover at the same time as the 12 and 16-hour green dots, I think that is the signal to look at to give us the highest probability of just seeing this thing squeeze to the upside. Again, coming into our next targets that I will cover in just a minute. That's what we're looking at, right? Like, this is still the signal. It was the signal yesterday. It was the signal the day before. It's basically all week since Monday, right? Since we've seen this VWAP starting to come up on the 16-hour, right? Like, we're saying, well, hey, we're coming up. If we print that green dot, it could give us the next leg. We never printed the green dot. We came back down. So the same thing stands here, right? 16 and 12-hour green dots with the 45 and 1-minute money flow crossovers into the green would be what I'm looking at on Market Cipher B to continue that rise to the upside, right? And then that would kind of invalidate the idea of like rejecting this value area high, because a lot of people like to ask me, Frankie, I get it. The volume profiles are goated. We long the lows. We short the highs. Absolutely insane, right? But how do we know, if and when it's going to break down? And it always goes back to money flow. Back here, we anticipated the breakdown of this range to lower prices, specifically down to $80,000 to $75,000 because of, at first, our daily money flow crossover into the red, right? And that's where you're saying, hey, the trend is likely to continue down, and it did. So when we look at that, right, that's kind of what opens up the door. You can see you're bing-bonging around here, money flow in the green. But once that money flow crosses over, there's a higher chance of actually losing that range, at least temporarily. Same thing with the shot to the upside, right? 2-day money flow was trying to cross over into the green yesterday. You guys can see this. If I really zoom in here, you can see. We're going to take a look at the heat maps as well today, guys. But, we did get that crossover into the green. We're right back into the red now. So things are a bit choppy here. Things are a bit mixed. I will say, yesterday I was feeling really good about the continuation up. I would still say I am kind of leaning in that direction. But now I'm leaning in that direction just based off of context, right? Because when you look at the market side for me, money flow, you have to look at that and be like, I don't like that this money flow is coming out. But we'll see. I want to see what these 12 and 16-hour green dots give us, right? And especially with those money flow crossovers on the 1 and 45-minute, that could just step on that money flow and it could just come back up into a bigger green wave, which sometimes does happen when you are in an aggressive uptrend. Like you could even see back here on the 12-hour, back when we broke out of our range that we were in for 7 months back here in 2024. You could see money flow was trending to the downside and then it came down and then all of a sudden, boom, right? And that was very, you could have seen that on the chart just given the context of things, right? So we could see something like that happen. And again, it is a pretty hard call here. But again, giving the specific signals that I want to see to actually anticipate that bigger move up. It is not a guarantee, and I want to be clear here. I am in a short position, right? And I'll cover that on the lower time frames in a second. But if we come down, I'm covered on the short. To be quite honest with you guys, I would prefer a little bit of a pullback so I could get an opportunity to get into another long trade. But as I've been saying all week, it's I don't know if the market's going to get that, right? I do think we've talked about this many a times on this rise to the upside, right? It's at this point, right, I kind of feel like more people want a pullback, right? Because everyone was so bearish at the lows, and now we've gotten this big move up. I think a lot of people are hoping for a big pullback. And sometimes in that case, the max pain situation is just to continue higher, right? Max pain does not always have to be a move to the downside, right? Or just a continued dump. So, yeah, that's kind of my thought process here. And, again, I want to cover these local levels, but just keep in mind the overall volume profile. It would not be the craziest thing in the world if we don't get the continuation up and we do get the bigger push to the downside into the POC. That's just based off the laws of the volume profile, ignoring the context, which you never want to do, but just keep that in mind, right? So it's not impossible. That's the context right now as far as the volume profile goes. But now let's go ahead and jump on into our lower time frames. And I do want to cover some of these local levels. Now, there are two ranges that I'm looking at up here, guys. We've looked at them on the live stream before. Number one is this local scalp range. Drag this right up here, right? So we do have the value area low, the value area high, and the POC right here. And this is actually where we got into the short position in the premium. We deviated above the high. We had some bearish confirmations. We took that trade, bringing it all the way back down to the value area low. We deviated below, come back in, back to the POC, front ran the high here. But this value area high is sitting at $104,350, and there is, in my opinion, a line in the sand here to greatly increase the chances of seeing that continuation up, guys. And that level is going to be the 786 Fibonacci retracement. Because we talked about this many times. If you're just going to look at this from a bare bones chart, right? If you're looking for a, I'm sorry, that's not that 786. It's this 786. If you're looking at this in just the context of a bare bones chart, right? You get the drop to the downside. You get the push back up. Lower high comes in right between your 786 golden pocket where we always anticipate that to come in. And then we get the drop down, right? Now, that makes, right, this level, the 786 at $104,906, in my opinion, the line in the sand, to invalidate this from being a lower high before actually putting in a lower low, right? This would be nice. We've talked about this many a times. Looking to get a bigger drop, right? If we could get that bigger drop into the $100,000 level where we have the 786 and the psychological level of $100,000, you guys can see that right there. I'll bring up this range as well in a second. But if we did get the drop back down there, right, it would be you have your low, your lower high, your lower low into the 786 psychological $100,000 level. And then this would be another big level where, you know, I think this would be a great place if we could pull down there, right, to be looking for a potential bounce, right? You get the bounce off the golden pocket, but you just put in a lower high. If you put in the lower low, this is the logical area to look for a bounce, in my opinion, right? But again, I just still think, right, like if we do get the push up, I think that's just going to cause more people to freak out, right? Because everyone's looking for a bigger pullback, and a lot of times the market doesn't give what the masses want, right? So I am fully aware of that, and I don't know. If we did come down there, I would love that to get another opportunity to take a long. I don't really like taking breakout trades, but I might be forced in a situation there, given the opportunity. But that is still, you know, these are the key levels we've been looking at for days, right? Or I mean, ever since we were able to pull this fib up to the high, right? Ever since we made this high, this golden pocket 786 was sitting here. We looked at this last week, actually. We got the bounce off the golden pocket, and now we're just trying to see, like, are we going to continue the trend up, or are we going to put that lower low in, right? So that's kind of the local situation. I am still short from here. I have profits locked in, stop loss to break even. It's actually a smaller position, to be quite honest with you guys, because it was originally looked at as a scalp. But if we do, right, just understand, 786 retracement at $104,906. If we get above that, that invalidates the idea of that area being a true lower high to put in a lower low. And once you get above there, I think that greatly increases the chances of coming up into our next key level, which is going to be sitting right here at $107,000, just about, right? Let me actually... Boom, $107,094, right? This is the, we've pulled this up many times, right? We looked at this all last week. We looked at this, or not all last week. Oh, yeah, actually, last week we looked at it as well, but we've been looking at this all this week. Next target to the upside, if we do get above that 786, you know, we have to be careful. We do have liquidity up here. You could potentially just sweep that high for a bigger move down. Obviously, that's an opportunity to look for, but if we get above that 786, greatly increases the chances that this was not the lower high, and we will see that bigger push up. And in my opinion, the next key level to look at, $107,094, and then the top of that fib zone is sitting at about $108.17. So that is going to be a zone. You guys can see these numbers right here if you want to get them on your chart. And that's what we're looking at, right? Money flow is just pretty chopped up in my opinion right now. It's just really hard to make that call off money flow. You can see we're just in the green, in the red, in the green, in the red, just giving us this sideways chop. So all we can do is look at the key levels, understand where the ranges are. And again, like I said, the key ranges are this local scalp range that I just gave you guys the levels for. And we also have the larger upper range here, which makes sense, right? Because that 786 is confluent with the POC. You know, once we get above that POC, you're obviously going to expect the value area high at 105,669. And then at that point, you know, you're looking for the bigger breakout into $107,000, right? So, yeah, I'm holding the short. If I get stopped out here, my stop loss is at break even. I'll see if I get stopped out there, but that's okay. I already took money off the chart, so it'll already be a guaranteed winning trade. And if we do continue down, we can continue to capitalize on that. Key level number one to the downside. You know, this larger range, I will just give you guys these levels as well. 101,356. POC sitting at 104,946. And then the value area high at 105,667, right? This is just a larger range that we've pulled from up here during the last time we kind of ranged around at the highs. And these levels have been perfectly respected, right? Get back in, get above the low, POC, little rejection, back into the value area high, reject the high, back below the POC, back to the low, back to the POC, back to the low. And now we're going to see if we can make it to that high. And again, crack that $105,000 level. Still, same as yesterday, doorway to higher prices, in my opinion, right? And I'm not going to lie, the doorways to higher prices, guys, have been absolutely beautiful for us, especially on the altcoins. But if we lose $100,000, obviously, we just go back to that larger, higher time frame kind of context with our current range here, looking at $97,000, right? And at that point, right, when we lose that $100,000 psychological level, we're also losing the 786. We're losing the $100,000 psychological level. And also, another thing to look at here is we would also technically, I don't know if I really would even be paying attention to this anymore, but we'd also be losing the 786 from the all-time high all the way to the macro low that we put in here at $75,000. That is typically a key level to remain above, right? And this is also very confluent with our, maybe I took it off the chart. Did I? No, also confluent with our monthly level here, which is pretty nice, right? Like big levels to stay above. Like 102,300. It's the macro 786. It's the monthly level, and then you lose that. Obviously, $100,000 is probably going to be next. Lose that. I'm going to be looking down towards the 90s, looking down towards the POC to keep things nice and simple, right? I don't want to bring up 100 different levels to confuse everybody. That's likely going to be the next zone, right? And just simply looking at that as a volume profile, right? Lose 100K. Probably going to start our journey down there. Now there are some local levels in here. You can see we do have an anchored VWAP here. I don't know if I'd really be looking at that one, to be honest, unless this comes up and it becomes confluent with $100,000 as we come down, then it would be relevant. But once you lose that 786, you're probably losing that anchored VWAP, and you're probably coming a bit deeper here towards that POC, right? Now, let me take these larger fib levels off the chart. I'll pull in a I want to take a look at the heat maps as well, guys. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to cover this today. Obviously, if you lose the POC, guys, it does open up the door to $91,000 to $89,000, which an honorable mention here. We do have liquidity sitting down there. If we zoom in, you can see here starting at about 93K, we do have a hotspot of liquidity. This is the 1 month time frame, so doesn't mean you have to come down there and get it. If we did continue down to those levels, that is going to be something I'm going to be paying attention to. But let me go ahead and pull up some of these other heat maps. We have some local heat maps to look at as well. If we look at the 2-week heat map here, you guys can see, obviously, liquidity sitting above the high that we have at about $105,900, 106K basically. And that could lead us into that $107,000 target, right? We know that liquidity acts as a magnet for price. Once we push into those liquidations, stop out all those shorts, liquidate all those shorts, it will add buy pressure to the market, pushing price up, giving you those big liquidation wicks. And again, right here at about $107,000, we do have that key Fibonacci zone. Bada boom, right? Also confluent with the daily naked point of control up here. So, you know, if we do crack above that 786, opens up the door to squeeze above the high, see that big liquidation wick, right? Even if we mark out those liquidations, I'm going to do it just in case it does happen, just so we can see that, right? It does lead to basically right here. So I'll mark those off as liquidations, and you'll see. We've done this many a times on the channel, right? Once we tap into that box, you're going to very likely see just one big candle pop through if you're looking at a higher time frame. But you will see once you start breaking that level, you'll see that fast move up. And, you know, that does give us a couple opportunities. We will be looking, gives you an opportunity to look for a liquidity sweep. But again, at that point, you know, then it's a deviation above the macro value area high, which is obviously a great place to be looking for short positions, as we've seen in the past, right? Deviate above the high, get accepted back into the range, go back to the POC, back to the low. Deviate above the high, get back into the range, can't get out, back to the POC, back to the low. So, you know, it doesn't mean that we have to do that, right? But that's just something that we're going to be looking at, right? And yeah, just trying to like build out like a little bit of a thesis here for you guys. If we get that push up, I will be interested in looking for scalp shorts in this area, right? I might not even take it, right? I would need some kind of like serious confirmation, which I talk about more in the premium, but you know, if we get up here and we just start squeezing, right, we're just going to let that thing ride. The question is, are we going to be able to come down for another potential long entry? We did actually have a long entry down here at that golden pocket, but I talked about that recently. We looked at it as a scalp first, so I'm no longer holding that trade, but it's totally fine. Other than that, Bitcoin's just kind of wiggling sideways still, guys. My sentiment pretty much remains the same. I just kind of wanted to show that we do have mixed signs on Market Cipher B, which could potentially give us the move to the downside, right? Like, I don't want to just pretend that it's up only and that's the only option, because we don't really know what's going to happen, guys, right? Like, especially when Market Cipher B gives mixed signals, like, makes it really hard to feel super confident about a certain level coming in, especially with the context of rejecting the value area high. I don't want to say, you know, it's just naturally, like, it's hard for me, you know, when we reclaim a value area low like this, right? I'm very confident in, like, all the altcoins when we started breaking these levels. It's like, hey, guys, all these look really good to get the move up to the POC, right? And then obviously Bitcoin did it as well. But that's like very natural, right? The context is you're above your doorway to higher prices. The next likely place for price to go based off the volume profiles is that POC. But when you're looking at tapping key resistance, where we would typically be looking for a big correction, but we see that we're in a strong uptrend, right? We have bullish CVD on almost every single one of these lows, meaning every time we come to these lows, we have that bullish CVD divergence, we get a push back up. We come back down, bullish CVD, we get the push back up. It's kind of a good sign, to be honest, right? But we can't forget the context of, like, the volume profile, right? It makes it really hard, especially unless Market Cipher was, like, super clear with the signals. The only clear signal I can see here for the move up, again, gave it in the beginning of the stream. You get that 12-hour green dot, that 16-hour green dot with the 1 in 45-minute money flow crossing into the green. That's what I would look for to just be like, hey, we're going to smash out of here, right? Hopefully we can see that happen. And if we don't, like I said, I'm covered on the short. We'll get that to continue to pay out. If we come up first, I'll stop out in profit. No big deal. And we'll just look for that next move to the upside. Does that make sense? Let me jump in the chat really quickly. Let's see. Shout out to Vegas Claw said liquidation happening at the jail cell. Hashtag baby oils. Shout out to Vegas Claw. Didn't know I was going to walk into that. Let's see. Could you please take a look at Solana? Yeah, we're going to take a look at Solana in just a minute. I'm going to do Ethereum, Solana, XRP, and then we'll take some requests from the chat. Let's see. Oh, wait, hang on. Did someone gift a membership? Someone said Jesse stole his membership. Did somebody give memberships? Did I miss it? No gifted memberships, but shout out to Netamax. Thank you for the super chat, bro. I appreciate you so much. He says, do you think it's really possible for Bitcoin to drop below 50K in a bear market now that there is so much demand from big companies? That's a great question. Shout out to Netamax. Listen, I think you have a good point there, right? Like, over time, as the asset matures and the market cap gets bigger, very naturally, the asset's going to stabilize, right? Just meaning that the not the ebbs and flows, but like the big pumps and the big dumps, they get muted, right? And that just happens with the maturization, I don't know if it's a real word, of an asset, right? Like the higher the market cap goes, we have the big companies coming in. It makes a lot of sense for those dumps to get less and less severe, right? Like each bear market, even if you go back and measure on a higher, a more historic chart, right? Like the bear markets get less and less over time, right? And it just makes sense with the asset maturing over time. So I would have to agree with that. Do I think we'll go below 50K in the next bear market? That will honestly all depend on where we top out at, right? So, for example, if we were to top out from where we are right now, let's see here, below 50K would 100% be possible, right? If this was the top of the bull market somehow, which I don't fall in the camp of, obviously, 100% I think you can get below 50K. If we go up to 150K, right, let's say just 150K, right, to 50K is about, I think that would be possible too, right? Might be close to the bottom, in my opinion, right? And again, this is very speculative at this moment because we don't have a lot to work with. If we went up to 200K, right, I don't know if we're going to get down to 50K, right? That would be about a 75% dump for the bear market, which historically actually is like near what we get, right? So I would say again, thinking of the asset maturing and getting less and less over time, 77% drop in 2021, 2022, or I should just say 2022, from 200K to 50K is, you would expect it to at least be a little bit less than that. So let's say like 201K, let's see, 50K would be 78, 50K would be 74%, maybe. I would say anything over 200K, like it'd be very, very hard for Bitcoin to get back down to 50. But again, very speculative. We'll have to assess the situation as we get closer. But great question. That's kind of my thoughts, right? You just take the previous dumps and just kind of, there's many ways you could do it, right? Just kind of like estimate, or you could take the average and just try to figure out, hey, it's a little bit less each time and just kind of ballpark it, right? You're never going to catch that direct bottom on the bear market, even though we got super close here. I was looking for weekly bear divs in the bear market between 14 and 12K, right? And again, you're never going to get it perfect, right? We was looking for the lower lows on price action, higher lows on our momentum waves, specifically on the weekly chart. At about 12 to 14K, we hit 15.5. That's dang close, right? Like that's about as close as you're going to get on the weekly unless you nail it. But yeah, once that bull dip confirms, it's like, okay, well, maybe we're not going to front run. Maybe we're going to front run 14, and that gives you a little bit of my insight. Let's see. Shout out to Brock says BTC looks like she wants to pump. She wants to pump soon, maybe pump tomorrow and sideways this weekend while alts go up. Maybe. That's actually a pretty good thesis. Let's see. What do I look for to predict the bear market? It really depends, right? I back here, right? Like it's easy to kind of look in hindsight, but back here, during the actual tops were happening, I did not have my channel up here. I started my channel down here. There's many things, right? Like high time frame bearish divergences, but one of the easiest things that you can look for on Market Cypher B is a weekly money flow crossover into the red. This is historically marked the start of every bear market. And doesn't mark the exact top, right? There's other things you can look for, like high time frame bearish divergences, sentiment divergences. Like you could look for so much different stuff up here. But once you get that weekly money flow crossover, this is typically where I let price drop and then I slowly start to DCA back into the market as price goes down, right? And you can see this has happened almost every single time before the big drop into the bear market. Weekly money flow crossover literally calls this almost perfectly every single time, right? Now, again, Doesn't mean that you're using that to sell or take profit in the bull market, but it's kind of a good signal. Like, let that money flow cross into the red. You're probably, once those next dumps come in, it's probably a good place to start DCAing in. Not financial advice. That's just what I do, and that's what we did back here. And with an average entry on Bitcoin between $20,000 and $21,000, it wound up not being that bad, right? So yeah. High time frame bear divs on both ends, bullish and bearish, are usually good signs for big moves in either direction. All right, so let's go ahead and jump on into a little bit of Ethereum here, guys. Now, we did come up and tap that monthly naked point of control that we have been watching at 27.28. Tapped it almost perfectly, and we're getting a little bit of a pullback. Now, when we come up here to the higher time frames, you can see 2-day red dot looking to print. 3-day bear, did I say bear div? 2-day red dot, no bear div. 2-day red dot looking to print. 3-day VWAP is starting to roll over here. So, yeah, I mean, we'll see. Listen, when you're in a bull market, right, or even just an aggressive uptrend, sometimes the high time frame red dots can just either give you like a lackluster pullback, right? Because the red and green dots on Market Cipher B only indicate the ebbs and flows, right? Like the little ups and downs, ups and downs, ups and downs, right? The money flow is what indicates the overall trend, right? You can see the money flow crossover. I mean, kind of like right here, right? Sure, you got to move to the upside, but the money flow indicated the overall lower highs and lower lows, right? The money flow indicates the overall trend. This is what you use for a filter to understand whether you should be favoring longs or shorts, right? Or that's the way, at least the way I do it, right? And it works out pretty dang good. So yeah, we'll see if that 2-day red dot prints, right? We're below major resistance. If we're able to flip that level, obviously, we talked about this yesterday. Where's it at? Yeah, like there's not much really above us, right? Up until about $3,000 almost, $2,979, right? Like there's not a lot here. And we even pulled up the VPVR and saw that, like, oftentimes quick moves down do lead to quick moves up. So this is the next biggest level of resistance. Once we get above there, I would say we could open up the door to start working our way, like very simply put, into the golden pocket at about $3,000. And that would agree with our idea of getting above the value area low. We've looked at this forever, and by forever, I mean ever since we got back in all the way here in 2023 to predict the move back to the upside, right? This volume profile has been absolutely massive. Are we about to do the same thing, right? So at the end of the day, we're above the value area low. We broke above the POC. POC is key support. As long as we hold above 2320, I would say the doorway, even if we do get a bigger pullback here, right? Bitcoin goes for the bigger pullback. Ethereum follows. POC at 2320 is a huge level to hold as support to keep the doorway open to that golden pocket and potentially the 786 value area high for the full fill of that range, right? The full fill of that volume profile, like we see very, very, very often, right? And when we look at the 2-day money flow, this is a huge signal, guys. 2-day money flow crossing over into the green would greatly increase, make me very confident in the idea that, again, red dot might give you a little ebb or flow to the downside, but that money flow continues up over time. Lackluster dumps for higher lows and higher highs, right? Now, if this money flow starts tanking back out, it would be a bit more bearish. But if we could get that 2-day money flow here, especially on Ethereum, that's what I'm going to be looking for to kind of anticipate that we will eventually fill that whole range. And you can see back here, right back here, right? Money flow crossed over into the green just as we started pushing back into the range. POC, get above the POC. And then you get that, money flow's already in the green on the 2-day, right? So any pullback is looked at as lackluster, continuation up, lackluster, continuation up. And again, you could get a red dot, right? That red dot gave you a pullback, but still, you lost the POC for a second, reclaim, send it up. And that's identifiable by the money flow, right? Money flow is in the green. So your bias is lackluster pullbacks for higher highs, right? To continue that bullish trend. Where's that higher low looking to come in at? Probably a golden pocket 786. Just for example, you can see you push up, pull back, hold the 786, get back above the POC, money flows in the green, and boom. So the money flow is simply a filter letting you know which way the trend is very likely to continue. Or you can just tune into the live stream every weekday at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and your boy Frankie Candles will update you on Market Cipher. So yeah, watching that 2-day money flow. Hopefully, it'll probably take some time, but hopefully we can get that to push up. Watching out for that green dot, red dot on the 2-day. If we get it, we could continue to pull back. POC 2320 key support. And then once we start losing that, value area low becomes your next key level at 2100. I'd rather hold the POC, to be quite honest with you. So yeah, that's what we're looking at. Hopefully we can just continue pushing up, flip the monthly naked point of control at 2734. I think that's about all we have. Yeah, we have one more weekly and daily level here. Let me just hide these real quick so I can clean things up. Right, so yeah, so you have this one other, $2,800 is going to be a big resistance level as well, weekly plus daily. But again, at the end of the day, that's not as strong in my opinion as like a monthly naked point of control, right? So flip that monthly naked, you might hit some turbulence on here, flip that, look for the golden pocket. That comes in at about 28.19. But again, if you're not here for every single nitty-gritty move and you're just looking for the overall context, I mean, hey, we're inside the larger volume profile, hold above that POC, look to continue to the upside. 4-day money flow actually looking to come to the upside as well, right? Like we really need this. We really need these higher time frame money flow crossovers into the green. I'll feel much, much better if we get a pullback and that money flow continues up. Like that's really what I want to see there. That's what's going to indicate we're going to continue up in my own personal opinion. So there you go. That's what we're looking at on ETH. Not much has changed. Kind of just went sideways for the most part today. Like we went up, kind of down. We're just kind of wiggling around here. All right, let's see. Last time we had hourly CVD bull div like we did today, we shot up. And yeah, that's a big reason why on Bitcoin, right? I do kind of feel good, right? It's not oftentimes, guys. It is not oftentimes that when we're at a value area high like this, a macro value area high, right? Zoom out here so you guys can get like the simple kind of outlook here, right? It's not often that we're tapping on a value area high where I am not just like, there's no shot I'm going to long here, guys. Like, there's no shot that I'm going to long up here. In this case, I am looking to potentially, right? We did have some setups in the Discord, but actually I had a busy week. I was in meetings all day yesterday. I would like another opportunity to enter here. Like I said, I might be forced to try to look for a breakout, which I really don't like to do. I'd rather enter in at the lows and just enjoy that move up. But it's not often that you guys will see me be like, hey, guys, we could just squeeze through here at a major level of resistance like this within the volume profile. I am a true follower of the volume profiles, and it's very rare that we're not just like, hey guys, we tapped the high, I'm expecting the POC and the value area low. This is not my base case right now. Although very valid based off the volume profile, my base case is more either squeeze to the upside from here, right? Go for 100K and squeeze up, or go to the POC and squeeze up because of the context of the market. So yeah, like any other time, like even up here, we were like, guys, this is the value area high. We also had our daily money flow up here, clearly trending to the downside, right? Clearly trending to the downside. So when you wiggle around up here and you see money flow crossing into the red, this is why we took a short here at about $102,000 on this retest, saying, hey, this is probably going to dump, right? Because we have that money flow crossing over into the red. And even in general up here, we took shorts up here. I just didn't hold it all the way, right? I had to re-enter at 102K. But, money flow trending out, you want to try to front run that and be like, hey, that money flow crosses into the red and we can get in up here. And this does continue down to break out of the range. That's how you short the top, right? So that's kind of that's how I would feel up here. Not very often that I feel as good as I do at a value area high like this. I would say if there's going to be a time for the value area to just get stepped on and squeeze us up, this is the situation, right? Because every low had bullish CVD, which is very nice to see. And again, right, like just aggressive uptrend. Even here, we did not drop back down into our local volume profile, right? Like we hit the low, back to the high. We front ran that value area low and sent it, right? It's not giving the pullbacks to key levels like we would expect. So it would make sense to me to not maybe go for 100K. I think a lot of people are waiting for that $100,000 psychological level, and bet your bottom dollar, guys, if we pull down there, like I'm looking at that level too, but I think a lot of people are just waiting for that, which gives me a little bit of suspicion that it's not going to happen, right? And maybe we just come up from here. But again, prepared in every single situation. If we go down to 100K, I'm short from here. If we come up from here, I'll stop out in profit, and then we'll just deal with that situation as it comes. We'll look for our next trade. And yeah, I mean, definitely like if the volume profile gets stepped on, like we will know it was a little suspicious here to just break out. And again, it has to do with money flow, right? Like if I talked about this yesterday, if you want a breakout to the upside, right? If you're looking here, then we literally talked about this exact situation. When we were bing-bonging around on this POC, my bias was 100% bearish. We had liquidity below. We were looking for that drop. If you've been here since then, you'll know that, right? But when we bing-bong around here, people might say, like, well, Frankie, like, how would we not, like, why can't we break out, right? Well, look at the money flow, right? Like when money flow is trending out like that, I mean, especially on the daily, right? Daily was even more obvious. When the money flow is trending out on the daily like that, that's not what you want to see for a massive leg to the upside. Look at the massive moves to the upside, right? Massive move to the upside, money flow was crossing into the green. This was a fake out on money flow, but still stands true, right? Like, why wasn't this going to dump to the downside? We actually spotted this fake out. This was kind of hard to predict, but we did it. But I think the only way I was able to do this was just because I was so used to looking at Market Cipher through multiple bull runs that I just kind of understood where we were in the cycle here. And I knew if this was going to be the start of the big move up, in bull markets, money flow stays in the green much more often than it doesn't, right? Like we come here, we squeeze into the red a little bit, right back into the green. Come down to the zero line, right back into the green. And we just kind of knew that was going to be the case here just based off of like where we were in the market, right? Or in the cycle, I should say. So, you know, when we're looking at this price action here for the bigger move down, we were saying, well, hey, if we want that big move up, right? We haven't gotten any real significant pullbacks yet. Maybe that's where we get it, right? And, you know, if you're looking for the big move up and new all-time highs, you don't want to see money flow coming out. You want to see it coming up, right? Literally the opposite of what we were seeing here. The nice thing right now is on the 2-day, if we're going to squeeze out of here, money flow is generally trending to the upside, right? So the sign, that's why I say, like, not oftentimes am I looking for potential just squeezes to the upside right up below resistance. But in this case, it's a very specific scenario, right? Because now money flow is potentially looking to cross into the green, which is what you do want. It's the opposite of what we saw here when we lost the range to the downside. Makes sense. Money flow crosses into the red in the range, you're probably going to continue your downtrend and lose the range. If you're in your range and money flow is crossing into the green, you're probably going to lose your range again, but this time to the upside. So yeah, I just kind of want to cover that because typically we are just like value area high, going to the POC, going to the low. So very, very specific context there. Let's see. Yo, shout out to Mark said, Frankie told me to buy carrot juice and stay away from crypto. Here I am. Shout out to Mark. Let's go, baby. How's that carrot juice going? I think it's been pumping lately. Shout out to the carrot juice out there. Yo, shout out to G-Dub in the chat. Welcome in, bro. He says, good evening, Frankie, my boy. What is going on, bro? Golden Child said, hopefully it's looking like we might get some lower time frame bear divs. Going back to 104K again. Hopefully we get another short opportunity before we get that juicy 100K entry. Yeah. You know, again, simple kind of thought process here. It's an if this, then that. If we go down first, short continues to pay. $100,000 is the level I'm looking at. I think it's a little sketchy because I think a lot of people are waiting for that. Maybe we don't get it, but anything can happen. So if we do come down, $100,000. Lose that, looking deeper down towards, you know, $97-ish thousand. And we'll cover that as that price action develops. Hang on one sec, guys. Hang on one second. Actually, I'll just keep going. Let me just shoot a text out real quick here. Bada boom, bada bing. I just got to ask Mrs. Candles to bring me something. We'll see if she comes. All right, let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Where it wicks, it sticks. Shout out to Tyler Durden. Yeah, wick and stick here or wick and stick here? That is the question. Boom, boom, or boom, boom, or boom. We'll have to see. But yeah, that's kind of how I'm playing it. That's the bullish case, the bearish case, and kind of just my feeling, right? I want this. I just don't know how probable it is because everybody wants this, I think. But if we squeeze up, we'll get stopped out and profit on the short. So kind of nice. Just not in that long position, unfortunately. Bullish on carrot juice and soybeans. Let's go. Yeah, shout out to Jesse said I'd rather have the third boom. Me too, bro. Me too. I just heard a weird sound. Let's see. Oh my God. What? Shout out to Mrs. Candles. Let's go. Hey, wait. Hey, come here, Mrs. Candles. Come here, please. No hands? Why? She doesn't want to show her hands because the nails aren't done. Unbelievable. Anyway. I don't know what that was, guys. I don't know. I don't know what that was. Anyway, let's see. Up is preferred. Yeah, shout out to Kevin Schubert, 100%. Drop a cow in the chat or a bull in the chat. There, drop the Mrs. Candle's hand in the chat if you guys want price to go up. But I don't know. She won't let us sniff the hand. Maybe we won't pump because of that. Let's see. Wiki Sticky, shout out to Hodl Crypto. But long chicken, short eggs. Yo, shout out to World. But let's continue on here, guys. And let's go ahead and take a look. Took a look at Ethereum. Let's take a look at Solana real quick. Bada boom. Take a look at the daily. Come on over to the alt chart so we can actually have our key levels. So, yeah. Oh, man. We looked at this yesterday. Beautifully tapped into that value area high, guys. This is the key level. We talked about this yesterday saying, you know, hey, we had the daily red dot on the daily because that's where daily red dots pop up. With the 90-minute money flow crossover into the red, you did indeed get the continuation of the downtrend, but your key level here is 160,000. $160,000. Solana's at $160,000, guys. I'm a multi-quadrillionaire. I'm just kidding. But once you tap into that value area high, 166.83, this is your key level of support, right? Because obviously this is looked at as a deviation above your volume profile. And what we were looking at yesterday were obviously the daily red dot with the 90-minute money flow crossover, but we are also just deviating above a value area high with bearish divergences, right? So you do technically have bearish signs at the high. If you were to short up there, right, your target, right, would be the value area high to take some profit off the table. If you get accepted in, you could look for that to capitalize to deeper prices. And if it bounces there, you could stop out in profit or just close your whole trade at the value area high. But when we look at this, let's take a look here. 2-day red dot is now printing. Yeah, 3-hour money flow. 3-hour money flow crossing, looking to cross over into the red potentially. Yeah, I mean, this kind of remains the same. Like, you really want to stay above this VWAP, above this value area high. If you get stuck under the value area high, I would still say same thing that we looked at yesterday, right? You do have this golden pocket from the low of this range all the way to the high. This is also somewhat confluent with this little mini range that we have, right? POC value area high 786 is confluent. These would just generally be the next key levels. Let me see if I can pull up any NPOCs real quick. So you don't have one until the value area low on the monthlies. Check the weekly. Nothing until the low. Check the daily. Okay, so you do have a daily MPOC. You have 2 daily MPOCs I would keep an eye on. Oh, they probably already have them on the chart. There they are. So yeah, you do have a daily naked point of control sitting at about 166.83. That is worth paying attention to. Actually, funny enough, this is an old MPOC that was tapped, but now we have one just underneath it, right? So it actually did just move a little bit. Still valid though, right? So, oh, yeah. 166.83. No, I'm sorry. 160.30 is the daily naked point of control. Let's pull up the 4-hour real quick. Let's pull from the impulse to the high. So, yeah, I would probably, I actually prefer this fib, to be honest, because your 786 is still, it's not too different, to be honest. But these would be like, if you break back into the value area, again, like the biggest level is right here. Like if you lose this value area high, I'd be looking down to the golden pocket daily naked point of control, sitting between 160.44 and 158.51. Lose that golden pocket, you're going to anticipate price to go down to the POC or the 786, right? Because if you're looking for higher lows and higher highs, that golden pocket might be the thing to look at. If you lose that golden pocket, next likely place for price to go is the 786. And then to be quite honest, if you lose that 786 POC zone between 153.44 and 150.92, I mean, you're just looking at that as a deviation above your high, acceptance into the range. I mean, continuation down to the POC. That would be like much more bearish. You really want to hold above that 786 and more preferably the golden pocket daily naked point of control. And even more preferably than that, just the value area high. I just don't know. The only reason I would say like, yeah, like the if this and that, lose this, I'm looking here. Lose this, I'm looking here. And then you lose that, it's just a little bit more bearish in my opinion, right? Because again, just looking at the volume profile, lose the value area high, go to the POC. Definitely don't want to lose the POC because that opens up the door back to the value area low at $126, right? No one wants to go back down there. This would be like breaking major levels within the trend. I just don't like that, right? So we really just want to keep this aggressive uptrend going. If you want much higher prices, right, you want something like that or something like that. But once you start losing this, it gets a little bit sketchier. Last-ditch effort, maybe a bounce off the POC, but I don't even really want to see that, to be honest. So this is kind of the deepest I want to see Solana go, and then we can obviously reassess the situation as it comes, but this is, at this point, you know, hopefully we could just hold that value area high. If not, we got to bounce off these levels, or we got some thinking to do. So, yeah. Taking a look at the higher time frames, daily or 2-day red dot is printing, right? And I believe the 3-hour, let me see this. I have a chart that shows me all the market cipher B116 strategies, or all the time frames that we look for them at. And I believe the 2-day is I think it's the 3-hour. Let's see. Yeah, 2 days, the 3 hours. So, yeah, I mean, you look at that, and it's like, you know, we can't ignore that. Money flow is coming out on the 3-hour. You have the 2-day red dot printing. You do not want to see that 3-day money flow crossover into the red within the next 1 day and 2 hours, right? Because that is a market cipher B116 strategy. Now, again, does that invalidate the downtrend? No. But if you see that 3-hour money flow crossover into the red, I would say the chances of coming down into these zones are much higher, right? Because that 3-day money flow crosses over into the red. That indicates that, you know, you're going to be looking for that 3-hour trend to continue down, right? Which could give you a pretty deep retracement. However, on the 2-day, it might just be one of those little ebbs or flows to the downside, because remember, money flow indicates the overall trend. 2-day red dot might be a little ebb to the downside with a flow to the upside, right? Or ebb to the downside for the overall continuation of the trend to the upside, right? So that's something to look at. Those are the key levels. And yeah, that's what I would really be looking for on Solana. It's at super, super important support with unfortunate bearish divergences on the 12 and 16 hour. No bear div on the daily, which is really nice. Money flow still in the green. So yeah, overall trend still feels good. I just, you know, we really got to hold that value very high if you don't want to come down to these levels. So yeah, there we go. There is Solana. And then we can look a little more locally here too. You could also, if you were looking to trade this, right, you could also just look at this potentially as some kind of a local volume profile, right? Come on down to a lower time frame, right? And then I just break this down for you guys really quickly. You know, when you're looking for like day trades or just shorter term trades in general, right? I mean, it's beautiful. Saying to yourself, hey, if we deviate below this volume profile, this is your undervalued asset. What do you have down here? You have lower lows on price action, higher lows on your momentum waves. This is just on the 30-minute time frame into a key level of support. Reclaim a beautiful reclaim of that value area low. Where's the next likely place for price to go? POC. Flip that POC. Value area high. Deviate above the high. You do not really have bearish divergences, at least on the 30-minute. This is a little bit wonky. But again, get back into the range. Can't get out. Can't get out. Can't get out. POC. Value area low. Deviate below the low. Once again, I'll be honest here, right? Just very locally, your 30-minute money flow trying to come to the upside with 30-minute bullish divergences. Lower lows on price action. Higher lows on your momentum waves. Yeah, you hold above this value area low, you could potentially look for that POC and the value area high for a simple range trade. Now, I'm not telling you to long it right now. I'm not saying, you know, not financial advice, not a trade signal, but I'm just saying, like, that's how we trade the volume profiles, to be quite honest with you, into a key level of support. The only thing I don't love here is, again, like the higher time frame context. Like you're longing against like a 2-day green dot or red dot. You're shorting against the VWAP coming down on the 3-day. So if I were looking at that, I would definitely be looking, you know, it's not just longing here, looking for massive new all-time highs. It would be, you know, looking for the long here, take profit at the POC, flip the POC, TP2 at the value area high. And then if you think it's going to continue up, you could let a portion of that trade ride with your stop loss at break even, making it a guaranteed winning trade. It's the only way you can guarantee a winning trade, guys, is by managing the risk correctly and taking profits along the way. So yeah, you know, because in case... The reason you would want to do that, right, is because in case, you know, the 2-day red dot is going to continue to the downside, right, like you might reject the POC and then break down back into this lower range, right? So you want to protect yourself against that. But right now, locally, I will say, you got a 90-minute bull div here. Let's check that 4-hour green dot. Yeah, if you can get that 4-hour green dot, let's check the 8-hour as well. Yeah, 8 hours not really that close. But, yeah, if you could get that 30-minute money flow to continue working its way up with the 8-hour green dot printing, that might be a nice sign that you could at least make it up back to the value area high. So that would be for local trades. Just keeping them in mind that, you know, you lose that value area high, it does open the door to lower prices. So there you go. Give a little bit of a freebie local range there on Solanzo. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Let's see. Yo, Frankie, is there a way to get more info on that 1/16 strategy on Market Cipher? Never mind. I understand what you meant while typing it. Shout out to Boris, baby. Giving that free value on the live stream. But shout out to Boris. I actually do have a tutorial video on the channel that you can watch. At Tony D, at Rob, at Tyler. Shout out to Captain Kirk. What is going on? If one of you guys can potentially drop that link to the Market Cipher B1/16 strategy, it is in... I believe it's Yeah, I think Tony might have the link. But if you guys could drop that in there so you guys could check it out, it'll kind of break down what I look for those market cipher B116 strategies. Super simple and super easy strategy to use if you don't fully understand all the volume profiles, all the fib levels, all the MPOCs, all the like more advanced TA that we do. This is a very, very, very nice, simple way to look at the market and get on the right side of the trades. I like to see more confirmation at this point, but there was a time where I would trade that strategy just alone, and it worked out pretty well. I hit some pretty nice trades on that one. Shout out to Mark Dutch. Said I had a Toyota Hiace, never had any problems, but don't drive too deep in the sand when you go fishing. Shout out to Mark Dutch. Dang, did you get washed away in the ocean in your car, Mark? Shout out to Mark Dutch. Welcome in, bro. Polka Dot. Yeah, shout out to Diago. We took a look at Polka Dot yesterday, but I'll try to check it today for you. Let's see. Tyler Durden says, Rob the Crypto Snob. My dad owns a GTR. Shout out to Tyler Durden. If anybody ever saw that video of like a kid at a car meet with his dad and like they're having the kids rap battle, which is that? Yeah, I don't know. It's like kind of like kid fighting, right? Like that's got to be illegal. Had them rap battle and one kid like shut it down with like a fire bars and then like the next kid just like stands there as the beat's going and he just goes, my dad has a GTR, and everyone goes crazy. It's the best video ever. You got to look it up. But anyway, let's see. Can we take a look at Beam? I'm going to write some of these down, guys. We're not going to be able to get to every altcoin, obviously. We'd have to be here for 24 hours. Maybe we'll do it one day, and we'll just keep running through the altcoins. Let me know, guys. Let me know. I'm thinking of potentially I'm thinking of potentially focusing more on this live stream for just Bitcoin and dropping altcoin update videos, right? Like market update videos just for altcoins with key levels and my thoughts on the market. That way they could live on the channel and everybody could just go to those coins, right? So like if we look at Beam yesterday, right, it's hard to look at it again today if nothing has changed because we already looked at it yesterday. But if we have it as a video, we could kind of, I think it might be a good idea. Yes, that would be awesome. Shout out to Dawn. Let me know if you guys, Let me know if you guys would like that. And it's not that like we'll never look at altcoins on this on the live stream, but it would just be nice to be like to have those like racked up on the channel. Like, hey Frankie, can you take a look at Beam? Actually, I just dropped a Beam video yesterday. Go check that out. Nothing has changed. Something like that. That's a great idea. More Bitcoin, less altcoins. Yeah, and it might also, or maybe even just do an altcoin live stream like earlier in the day or something, like a couple times a week or something. Shout out. Do on the live stream and then clip them into shorter videos. I could do that. It would be hard to like format. I would have to be like, all right, guys, let's go ahead and take a quick look at. Maybe we could do that. All right, what altcoin we're gonna take a look? Let's take a look at XRP. What is going on, everybody? Welcome. I'm just kidding. But maybe we can do that. That would be cool. I mean, we could always do a mix of the live altcoin TA and then just drop the videos as well. But it is kind of hard, right? It's like just to run through all the altcoins. Like a lot of them look exactly the same. And yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. We won't change it yet. But I just kind of wanted to get your thoughts on that. Drop some fire in the chat if you guys want separate altcoin videos. If it doesn't mean we're not never going to take a look at altcoins on the live stream. But let me know if you guys would appreciate that as extra content, right? But yeah, let's take a look at XRP. Now, as we looked at yesterday, guys, we saw on the charts, we did have the push into the value area high, right? Obviously. We came up there. This didn't happen yesterday, obviously, but we pushed up there for the first time. And this is overall, guys, what we've been looking at, right? Volume profile, flip the value area low to support. Next likely place for price to go is to begin its confusing and scary journey to the POC. It does act as a magnet. We get sucked up to the POC. Volume profiles are absolutely goated. Shout out to Phoebe. Thank you for that. Right on time, Phoebe. But once you get above the POC, you look to go to the value area high. Absolutely perfectly, guys. If you've been watching the show since at least April 18th, April 19th, even April 22nd, we've been looking for that to play out for quite some time. And I know a lot of people, right? I don't know a lot of people, but I know many people get nervous, right? They're like, what the heck? What happened? I thought the volume profiles were going to work. What happened? Scary and confusing journey, but more often than not, value area low to POC, POC to value area high. Very nice, especially when you have high time frame money flow in agreeance, right? Even some of these higher time frame Higher hourly time frame money flows were coming into the green as well, right? Flip the value area low, 10-hour money flow comes into the green, bada boom, not too bad. So yeah, and then yesterday we were looking at the Fibonacci 786 golden pocket retracement from the low to the high. And yeah, yesterday we were seeing the bearish divergences here, right? Looking for the potential pullback, higher highs on your price section, lower highs on your momentum waves. I think we must have seen this on lower time frames as well. Yeah, 2-hour, higher highs, lower highs, money flow comes out. 786 golden pocket would be the place to look for a bounce, but I have to say here, guys, 2-hour money flow crossing into the red. Checking that 2-day, red dot looking to print. Daily red dot is also printing. 90-minute money flow crossover into the red. I'll say this right now. Hopefully, just based off market cipher, that money flow crossing into the red could indicate, unless we get a fake out, could indicate only because that 90-minute money flow crossover is happening at the same time as the daily red dot, lower highs and lower lows might be in store. And this is kind of nice in a way because we have the key level just below us, which is the POC and the 786, right? We've gone from the low. Whoops. We've gone from the low to the POC to the high. We have now put in bearish divergences at the high. We got the pullback to the golden pocket 786. Shout out to anybody who saw the stream yesterday. I'm not sure on XRP, but if I was, right, this would be a place to take profit for sure, right? And then potentially hold a portion of that trade to lose the POC and then get the bigger drop down towards the value area low. And with the 90-minute money flow crossover, I'd watch that, right? The one nice thing is we're getting that 90-minute money flow crossover at the tail end of this daily red dot. So maybe, money flow still in the green on the daily. Like I would still feel pretty good about this. You really don't want to lose this POC, to be quite honest, right? That 90-minute money flow crossover would make you anticipate a potential continuation down within the context of the 90-minute. Get stuck under that POC. It doesn't mean that you can't bing-bong around and get back above it, but just in general, high POC is the next likely place for price to go. We saw that happen, and you can see we even came down, front-ran it, and we still wanted to come down and get to the POC is the strongest magnet within the profile, right? So even when you front-run it, come back up, you're probably going to go down, tap it again. Right? Not every time, but more often than not, you will see that happen. It's the same thing here. Get above the low. You go for the POC, you front run it. Oh my God, we're not going to hit it. Never mind. Yes, we are. Right? That's why the volume profiles are just like, don't trust your feelings. Trust the volume profile. But you just want to realize how key of a support this is. 786 POC. You lose that. It's just, it's not as, it's you don't want to get onto that POC because it does technically open the door to the value area low. It doesn't mean you have to go there. We could hold higher lows still within this trend, but it's just more of a bearish sign in my opinion. Now, if I were to pull some deeper Fibonacci retracements, we could pull from this impulse. And this could potentially, yeah, man. Nice. All right, so you do have a daily naked point of control on that 786 right here at $2.22. No weekly. Yeah, I mean, I would say, to be quite honest with you, you do have the daily down here. Let me hide the MPOCs real quick. Let me just mark out this daily. All right, so you do have a daily just under that POC. You would really you would want to hold that. If you slip that 786, you want to bounce off that daily, lose the daily. You have your golden pocket just underneath you, and then you do also have this daily naked point of control 786, right? So there's no confluence on the daily, right? Not really, right? So if I just draw this out for you guys, let me hide the indicator here. So yeah, again, the context here is lose that POC. It's generally a bit more bearish, but with money flow on the daily in the green, you could still potentially anticipate higher lows and higher highs. Not really any conflict. I'm just going to move this down, right? Because now the support is going to be the POC and the daily, right? Because we're starting to lose that 786. If you lose that daily, golden pocket just underneath you, there's really not confluence here on the golden pocket. The next area of confluence, in my opinion, is going to be that 786 daily naked point of control. So these are just levels that you want to watch. Could you bounce off the golden pocket? Yes, but I would really prefer, just based off the context of the volume profile, to not fully rotate back down. I would really prefer to bounce off the POC in the daily. Maybe a wick into the 786. You could go down here, but I just wouldn't like that, right? Because once you get below the POC, all the bounces are coming right into resistance, which could knock you down. So it just makes it a little bit more of a difficult trade. But not all trades are easy. To be honest, a lot of the best trades are the hardest trades, right? So yeah, we pulled down to that level, which was the local golden pocket, 786. this. I think that was it, right? Or I think it was actually this one. No, it was this one. So, yeah, we just, you really want to hold this, right? You lose this blue box, golden pocket honorable mention, but really the next area of confluence is down at 222. So those are levels I'd be watching out down below. Don't love the daily red dot with the 90-minute money flow crossover. Don't love the 2-day red dot incoming with the 3-hour money flow coming to the downside. But we'll see. We'll see if we can get the bounce from here. But if not, you might be due for a little bit more of a correction there. Let's see. Shout out to B. Tyler. Thank you for the super chat. Said, Crow, please. We will try to take a look at Crow. I don't know if we're going to have time to get to every altcoin. I know we're not going to have time to get to every altcoin, but shout out to B. Tyler. We will try. We will try to honor that super chat. Super chats do not guarantee. Friendly reminder. Do not guarantee that we will look at your altcoin, unfortunately, because we just don't have enough time to look at them all. But we will try our best. We will try our best. Let's see. Oh yeah, shout out to Rob the Crypto Sub. Said we used to timestamp the live stream videos chapter per coin. Yeah, we should start doing that again. To be honest. Shout out to Crypto Billy in the chat. What is going on, Billy? Welcome in, bro. Thank you for being here, brother. Let's see. Dropping the Frankie face, the sauce can, the fire emoji, and the POC emoji. Let's go, baby. Yo, shout out to Smoking Wrench says, cheers, chat. DCA day. Let's go. Shout out to Smoking Wrench. Let's get it, baby. So, yeah, well, I mean, quickly approaching that daily on XRP. Yikes. How's Biddy doing? Still wiggling around here. Ugh. Still wiggling around. All right, so let's move on here. We took a look at XRP, took a look at Ethereum, took a look at Solonzo. I guess we'll just jump right into Crow real quick. Smash that like button if you guys have not already, and help support the channel. It's free 99, baby. It's free 99. And to us, it's like $1 million. Let's see. Okay, so taking a look at Crow. I'm going to take a couple of different, let me just pull this to current real quick. I'm going to separate this. I'm going to get this off the chart real quick. Let me pull this. This is a little bit more relevant. Boom, 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 boom. Why is my horizontal a gold line? I literally hate this. Boom. There we go. Get the POC in there. Get the value area high in there. All right. So this would be the local range I'm looking at on Crow. Come on down to the low. You got some bull divs at the low. You go to the POC. You kind of bing bong around. We're now above that POC. To the upside, I would say the biggest level to look at would be the value area high sitting at 15 cents. Money flow trying to continue up on the daily as well, 2-day as well. Now, remember, guys, daily red dot incoming. Red dots could give you little ebbs and flows in the market. But overall, if we can get this money flow to keep continuing to the upside and crossover into the green, I think that's the next big signal to look at on a lot of things to continue up to higher prices in a big way. It's going to be those money flow crossovers into the green on the 2-day. So, again, going to take some time. You could pull back off that daily 2-day red dot, but POC is key support. I'll just give you the levels on this. 9 cents, right? POC. Not too bad. Value area low is sitting at about 7 cents, and then the value area high at 15 cents. I would look to respect this range until it breaks down or breaks up. If it breaks down, that's where we could take that larger bear market range into consideration here, looking down towards about 5 cents, right? That's an honorable mention. You only have to worry about this, in my opinion. You know, based off this larger profile here, right? You get above the high, you get back in, you can't get above. POC is next. Can't get back above the POC, you would look for that value area low. So it is worth mentioning that lower level at about 5 cents on the larger value area low. But if you're looking, if you're looking to hold a higher low over time here, let's check a higher time frame. Yeah, that's not really. I'll just take that back. So yeah, I mean, this would definitely be the local levels I would watch. If we pull up the VPVR. Come on, baby, VPVR. Boom. Come on, baby. It didn't work. What the heck? We're too quick. We're too quick for TradingView, guys. We're too quick for TradingView. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, pretty, it's not a total void in volume, but, all the high volume nodes are down here, right? That's why, price is sticking to that high volume node. Once you get above that, right, it does open up a bit, really leading you towards that value area high. That value area high may act as a magnet for price at about 15 cents. But you got to remain above the POC. And with that 2-day red dot, maybe you cool off. But as long as you can stay above this, I would say push into that value area high at about 15 cents. Now, if you pull back, POC is your first key level of support. Value area low will be key level number 2 at 7 cents. It's not until you decisively break down out of this range that I would be looking down towards that 5-cent value area low that I just brought up. Other than that, taking a look at the higher time frames, 2-day red dot looking to print, money flow coming up. Yeah, 3-day money flow has been in the red for quite some time here. Yeah, I mean, listen, guys, we've been in the red for so long here, and we never even crossed into the green on a lot of the altcoins, right? Like these higher time frame money flow crossovers into the green are just like from a blank chart perspective, right? I can even like pull up a non-log chart, right? Like just to kind of give this gives a little bit better perspective, right? Like if you're a fan of Crow and you do not think Crow is going to go to zero, in my opinion, you get these high time frame money flow crossovers into the green. Massive upside ahead, right? And, you're already all the way below your macro value area low, which technically is your big, big doorway to higher prices. Pull the log chart back up so it's a little bit more palatable, right? Like, if you think that, Crow is going to go anywhere back near its all-time highs, right? Like, you're pretty far away, right? And, this would be looked at as, that money flow crosses into the green. Could continue that bigger trend up towards that bigger range. But until then, these are the local levels I would look at. Take a look at the daily real quick. Daily green money flow crossover into the green. So yeah, I mean, it looks the same as everything else, but just be careful of those high time frame green dots. But I would say very similar to XRP, right? Like even if you get a little bit of turbulence, right, you would really hope that money flow stays in the green, so you just overall continue that move through the volume profiles. And the volume profiles are goated. So yeah, there we go. There is Crow, baby. There is Crow. Let's see. Shout out to Crypto Billy said, here is the secret to make hundreds of thousands of dollars in crypto. Ready? DCA into DCA into the Franklin Candleton live stream. It's that simple, really. Shout out to Crypto Billy. Let's go, baby. Let's throw some money for Crypto Billy. What should we throw here? I actually got a mix here. I haven't separated the hundreds from the 20s, but we're just going to throw some money here for Crypto Billy. Let's go, baby. Shout out to Crypto Billy. Tuning into the Franklin Candleton live stream. DCA, your daily dose of the Frankie Candles live stream can help you make money trading Bitcoin. Whether price goes up or down, that's the most beautiful part. So shout out to Crypto Billy. Let's go, baby. I don't have the fan on in the studio, so let's see. It comes down so heavy. Shout out to Crypto Billy. Let's go, baby. Congratulations. And shout out to you, bro. He said, not financial advice. Just my worthless opinion, not financial advice. Shout out to Crypto Billy. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Where's Jimmy Void, XRP Shillbilly, Jimmy with the Stimmy, Tyler Durden, the real OGs. Shout out to Crypto Billy. Those are some real OGs of the CandleMafia. Let's go. 8-hour green dot and 30-minute money flow happening at the same time right now. Yes. And that's actually what I was looking at on Bitcoin, right? Like Bitcoin, actually, I think on... was it Ethereum as well? 8-hour green dot printing, 30-minute money flow, looking to cross over into the green. This is kind of what's setting up a little bit more locally for a move to the upside. And this is why I say there are definitely mixed signals here on a lot of this stuff. That's why, even on Bitcoin, right? 30-minute money flow crossover into the green. 8-hour green dot printing, 8-hour green dot printing, baby. Money flow coming out, though, right? Like definitely a little bit mixed here. At key resistance, right? So I still stand here. And really the bigger sign in my opinion would be the 12-hour green dot and the 16-hour money flow. But that 8-hour green dot confirms that 30-minute money flow is starting to cross over into the green. We did have bullish CVD divergences at the low. That could squeeze you up. But I would really think the bigger signal to watch is going to be the 12 and 16-hour green dots. So yeah, that's kind of the local bullish scenario for Bitcoin, right? Like if you can get that, it is there, right? This is like the epitome of this setup kind of printing, right? 30-minute money flow crossover would indicate the trend is likely to continue to the upside, right? Whoops. Boom, boom, even if you pull down to that local golden pocket at about 102.4, yeah, that is the that would be the bullish case for sure. And that would support the idea of not coming down to the $100,000 level, right? That 8-hour green dot money flow crossover does indeed give you the continuation of the trend up. At that point, as price is coming up, that 12-hour green dot is probably going to follow suit, right? 8-hour green dot print starts pushing you up. That's how the time frames work, right? Lower time frames print first. That 8-hour green dot prints, pushes price up. If you start pumping, that 10-hour green dot actually already is printing. If that continues, the 12-hour green dot will print. The 45-minute money flow may be up. And look at that 45-minute money flow as well. We'll see what happens. Like I said, my bias, right now, I would say, I really want to say I'm neutral, but I would have to say the bias is still, like yesterday and the day before, I just feel that, like, with the CVD that we've been seeing at the lows, we could just squeeze up here. It's not every day that I would say that right after we reject a value area high. But like I said, I say that while also holding my short position with profits locked in, stop loss to entry, right? So, I know a lot of people might get confused. Well, you said you were in a short, and I am, right? But that doesn't mean that doesn't mean that I think price is going to go to zero. That short was from here, as looked at as a little bit of a scalp, right? I took profits, moved my stop loss to break even, came down a little bit more. If we do continue to dump, I'm going to hold that trade. If I come back up to my entry, I will stop out in profit. Right? So just because I'm in a short does not mean, right? And I think a lot of people will do that with traders on YouTube. Like, this person's short, we're going down. It's very important, which might be the case, right? But it's very important to understand the context of their trade. Because it could just be a scalp short, right? Which is what this was. If it runs, then that's great. I'm letting that hit me by surprise, right? So I've already got my money locked in. I'm happy to get stopped out for a winning trade, right? So yeah, watch that, shout out, I forgot who said that, but scroll back to the beginning of the stream. We took a look at that on Bitcoin. Let's see. All right, let's continue on here. Litecoin, we could try to take a look at Litecoin. What's up, Frankie? I put a short on Litecoin at 162, stop loss at 102.64. Let's go. Shout out to Perry, baby. Maybe we'll take a look at Litecoin in a minute. Took a look at XRP, took a look at Solana, took a look at Ethereum. Let's take a look at Beam. I've gotten a few requests for Beam lately. Let's see here. Actually, I think, I have a Beam chart over here. Beam. All right, let's see here. Okay, so interesting. So just to be aware, on the higher time frames, you do have an upper volume profile, the massive, the big boy, the doorway to the moon, sitting right here at 14 cents. I'm sorry, 0.014 cents. That's the big level to get above, right? And like it's very similar to like when we looked at Ethereum, right? Like what we wanted from Ethereum, right? We were in those little mini ranges down below, but what we really wanted was a break of structure here on the higher time frames to work our way up to that larger value area low, which here sits at 0.014. That's your doorway to higher prices. I'll even mark this out real quick. Bada boom, bada bing, bada boom. Doorway to higher prices. And yeah, that would be, that's the big level. You're pretty far away from it, but just understand 0.014, big level. You break above that, POC is very likely at 0.018, and then, you'd be looking up towards the value area high. At that point, it would probably be very clear that all the alts are starting to run, and then maybe that's alt season and everything goes to the moon. Hopefully that's the case. I'm not going to take a look at dominance or total 3 or anything like that today, but maybe we'll take a look at it tomorrow. We looked at it recently. That's the only reason why. I want to let those things move before I just kind of repeat myself. But I will say this, right? We have come in from the high to the low with our Fibonacci, right? Tap into the 786, pull back. And now we're getting underneath here, right? So like this is key resistance, right? We have the weekly level there. This is now tapped, right? So I can get rid of that. But yeah, you don't really want to get stuck under this golden pocket 786 zone, right? Like the doorway to higher prices locally is going to be to hold the value 786 at 0.0092 as support for the bigger rise to the upside. 100%. Right? That is what I would look for. That is the doorway to higher prices, or at least the doorway to start the journey into the value area low above at 0.014. But you're definitely in decent resistance here, right? And again, that's just fib. To be honest, right? You tapped it once. You would think, right? It's actually nice that you put the somewhat of a higher low in there, right? Because if you were looking at this as a low, right, a low, a lower high to put in a lower low, the rejection probably would have happened here. So it's nice that when you got that rejection from the fib zone, you actually held support here on these lows. And look at that, right? Like you didn't even sweep this low. Market's been doing that lately, right? You look for the sweep of the lows, you don't get it, and it just sends. So right now, your key support, to be honest, like just understand that fib level is there. But I would say if you were going to put in the lower high, it was more likely to happen on the first approach. The more times you tap into levels, more often, the more likely they are to break. It is there, but right now, I would just say your key support level right now is going to be sitting right here at your value area high, sitting between 0.008 and 0.007 with your value area high golden pocket confluence. It's going to be a wonked out range. Yeah. 786 sitting at about 0.0075. I would say if you lose that level, you're probably looking to go down towards that POC. So like the general zone of support, in my opinion would be golden pocket value area high is like the real good zone, in my opinion, 0.008, 0.007. And then you could technically extend that down to the 786, right? Because if you're looking to hold a higher low and a higher high, you would look to hold it on the golden pocket or the 786. Once you lose that 786, kind of invalidates the idea of putting in the higher low, and you could be changing trends to come down to that POC. Now, again here, 10-hour money flow starting to come out. You do have high time frame bearish divergences. Daily didn't give it to you. 2-day red dot printing. But again, money flow, guys. It's all about the money flow. As long as it doesn't reject in a huge way, it's okay to come down here and cool off a little bit as long as that money flow just continues to put in higher lows, right? It's okay to dip down as long as you're putting a higher low in. It's all about trend on money flow, right? If you're confused on if money flow is coming up or coming down, you just want to look at the overall trend, right? Let's say it dips down here, and you're like, oh my God, money flow is coming back out. You still have an opportunity to put in the lower high or higher low, and then maybe you get the crossover into the green, which would look something like this for the continuation of the trend, right? So that's what I would look at. Nice that you broke out of your range. You just really want to hold above this zone for Beam, in my own personal opinion. Taking a look at the 3-day VWAP coming down, 4-day VWAP rolling over as well. Yeah, hopefully these high time frame red dots don't give us another big dump to the downside, guys. I really, we're setting up pretty nice here for the altcoins. Hopefully those daily, money flow starting to come up here on the 4-day. Like, hopefully these red dots on the higher time frames end up just being fake out red dots, right? Very similar to what we saw back here, right? You have the red dot, it pulls you back to the value area low, and then boom, you get the green dot again, right? Even here, this is a better example, right? You get the red dot printing right here. You get the pullback, boom, you get the green dot right away, and you come back up. That's what we want to see happen on these higher time frames, right? Because a 4-day red dot can sometimes give you a big, big move to the downside. But in a strong uptrend, you would hope for the VWAP flip, right? Where the VWAP crosses over, gives you the red dot, and then that green dot comes right back in and money flow continues up. That's what you need for the big move up. So that's what I would look at on Beam. Key levels. Value area high, 786 between 0.0080 and 0.0075. Lose that, I'm probably looking a bit lower. If you hold it, look for the higher low and the higher high. So there you go. There is Beam, baby. Beam for the win. Shout out to Rob the Crypto Snob said, I'm still as cute as a button. Shout out to Rob the Crypto Snob. Good Lord. What are you guys talking about in the chat? Let's see. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Doge. I'll write some of these down. BTC is king. Shout out to Jay Bella. What is going on? Welcome in. XRP is tanking. Since we looked at it? Oh, baby. I wouldn't say, yeah. Getting the I wouldn't say tanking. But there's the push into the daily. I mean, literally in real time, guys. Got to be careful those 90-minute money flow crossovers. Now we're below the POC. Literally looking at this yesterday, putting in those bear divs at the high, money flow starting to come out, looking at that key level support. Don't want to lose that daily. Don't want to lose that daily. See here. Yeah, putting in some slight divs here, right? Don't get carried away. This is the 3-minute time frame. But yeah, pushing into the daily. We'll see if we get down to that golden pocket. Man, it just gets harder and harder, guys, because, you have to think to yourself, value area high, lose that POC. Technically, it becomes more probable to get down to your value area low, although not guaranteed, right? You still have an opportunity to, and you did tap that 786 as well. So, yeah, you don't really want to lose this. This is like a pretty confluent level. Potential 1 hour bull div. But again, that 90-minute money flow, like I said, could it indicate the continuation of your downtrend if you get stuck under that POC? You know, again, we just looked at this. So scrub back if you guys want the full TA on this. But yeah, you're just seeing that start to play out. Yikes. I would love to hold that 786 daily. I just don't know how likely it is with that fresh 90-minute money flow crossover. Ugh. All right, let's continue on. Announcer voice and our cleanup hitter, our third baseman, Servando Estrada. Shout out to Crypto Billy. Hit me up, UFC. When Bruce Buffer retires, I'll never be able to fill his shoes. But if you guys are looking for a lackluster replacement, you can hit your boy up, Frankie Candles. And in the blue corner, we have XRP with a bullish divergence on the weekly at a key naked point of control on the monthly. And in the red corner, we have Jerome Powell ready to dump the market. Who will win? Shout out to Crypto Billy. Let's go. Peak is a proud sponsor of Frankie Candle's YouTube channel. Shout out to Say It With Me, Suey. Shout out to Peak. If you guys are watching this, sponsor us. I'm just kidding. I love that one, Frankie. Let's go. Let's see. I had to remove my beach ball from my bedroom. It was like the CandleMafia scent. Shout out to Al Jr. We're going to have CandleMafia candles, which are just going to smell like plastic, guys. It's going to be Mrs. Candle scented candles. All right, let's continue on. Let's take a quick look at I got time for one more here. One more. Let's take a look at Litecoin. I saw a few people looking at Litecoin, or not looking at Litecoin, but asking for Litecoin. Let's go ahead and jump on in here. Take a look at the Bybit chart. Actually, no, I always... not that I don't mix up Link and Litecoin, but every time I think that we have a Litecoin chart, I'm always like, no, it was the Link chart that I'm thinking of. Anyway, let's take a look here. All right, let's start here on a weekly time frame. We got our big bear market range here, obviously. I don't love, let me move some of this stuff over. I keep hitting the notebooks here. All right, so here's your like major range, right? You're tapping up against that value area high. Value area low, POC, value area high. All right, so yeah, I mean, you're coming into resistance. I mean, this is on everything, right? Like, it's on Bitcoin. It's on XRP, or was on XRP yesterday that we looked at. You're coming into the value area high here, the macro value area high. We barely front ran that value area low, right? We came down almost to the value area low. We got the rip to the high. Money flow on the 8 hours crossing over into the red. 30-minute money flow crossing over into the green. 8-hour green dot might be looking to print soon. I still think like the bigger signal on a lot of these coins to get their next big leg up is going to be, again, from the beginning of the stream on Bitcoin, the 16 and 12-hour green dots with the 1 hour and 45-minute money flow crossovers into the green. Let me take a sip of the black coffee real quick. I lied. It's not black coffee, guys. Let's see. Can we do H-bar? Shout out to Spades. We took a look at H-bar yesterday, I believe. I'll try to squeeze it in maybe on the Frankie Fake Out. Aptos. I'm just making a list here. I'm not going to be able to look at these today, but we will. I will keep this list live, and we'll try to cover as many as we can tomorrow as well. Brett. Oh, Crypto Billy requested Brett. I'm not going to lie, guys. Crypto Billy low-key has a lot of pull. Crypto Billy's Crypto Billy. I mean, he helps us out endlessly on this YouTube channel. We will try. I'll try to take a look at. I'll try to take a quick look at Brett as well. Shout out to Crypto Billy. But here on Litecoin, up at the value area high. don't really have the bear div. I mean, at the end of the day, you're at resistance. Money flow, honestly, 3-hour money flow is coming out. Your 2-day red dot's probably printing. Yeah, there you go. 2-day money flow. So again, I would say high time frame money flow still looks good for overall continuation up, but locally, you might be able to get these pullbacks. Similar to XRP yesterday, right? Like, not the worst thing in the world to see the, a little pullback on XRP, but overall, like, daily money flow in the green still looks good for a continuation up, but it's just that like continuation, that local continuation to the downside that looked with the bear divs at the hot value area high here, and we're just getting that pullback now. 2-day red dot. Watch that 3-hour money flow crossover. 3-hour money flow coming out as well. We'll see what happens. But back to Litecoin real quick. Let me just get these key levels for you guys. So yeah, value area high. Sitting at 101.43. At this point, right, it's like, hey, deviation above the high, break back into your range. This was from February. Yeah, so this was kind of last time we had the rip. Back into the range, lose the POC, almost back down to the low. Was this a key Fibonacci level? I don't hate that. Put the higher low in, basically, at the 786. You held it on the weekly almost perfectly. Yeah, I still don't think it's impossible, if everything goes right, that we can continue to potentially get a bigger move up here. Now, again, I would say locally, yeah, he's got this is all over the place. Like 8-hour money flow is coming out. 10-hour money flow coming out. That doesn't look the best, but then you look at the 2-day, and your 2-day money flow is coming into the green. So I would just be careful here. You're at resistance. You have some bearish signs, but overall for the bigger continuation up, I think over time, like over the longer term, you can potentially see that continuation up. Not that bad. But I would just be very careful here, right? Pullbacks are definitely possible based off of what we're looking at here on the lower time frames. Yeah, watch that 2-day red dot with the 3-hour money flow. If that 3-hour money flow crosses into the red, you might be able to continue down a little bit deeper here, potentially to the POC of the range at about 92.01. That's your biggest key level of support, right? Because sometimes you could break out, retest that POC one more time, and then get the bigger move. So that's your next biggest level to the downside, $92 for Litecoin. That's what I would look at if you get the continuation down. And then if you could break out of this value area, I would very, very apparently, we like to look at volume profiles. Shout out to the apparently kid. But I would look at something like this. I don't know why I'm like this, guys. You have this local range above. I'll just give you this as honorary mention. You came up, you retested the value area low, which is okay to get, right? This is a doorway. This is your local doorway to higher prices. DWTHP. So, maybe you get the pullback to the POC, then you come up. Once you get above here, that is where I would look for the bigger move up through this local profile above. But that value area low is going to be resistance until proven otherwise. We hit our head. Maybe we hit our head. So hopefully you can hold that $91 POC, though. That would look good for a reclaim and then ascend back to the upside. So short-term pullback, maybe. Once you get up here, that's your doorway to higher prices. 107.37. Flip that level. I'd be looking up towards about 127 and then potentially 137. From 107 to 127 to 137. Not too bad. Not too bad. All right, let's see here. Okay, so let's take a quick look at Brett. Let me just make sure I didn't miss anything here in the chat. Very boring week. Go look for dogs so we at least have something new. Shout out to Simon. 100%, bro. I agree with you. Let me tell you guys something crazy. Like I said yesterday, I was not in the studio almost all day. I was out at a meeting. While I was driving to that meeting, guys, I could not make this up. A dog, I don't know how this happens. I'm not going to lie. I almost went full Italian on this guy. I'm not going to lie. I'm from New York. We're very upfront. We're very honest. When you push us, we're just going to tell you how it is. And I'm a very friendly, nice guy. I like to just be peaceful and positive all the time. But I almost went New York on this guy. I'm not going to lie. I'm driving down the road. Dog literally off the leash, running. I did not see it until it literally made eye contact with me and lunged in front of the car, guys. I almost crashed. I swerved, screeching halt, swerved out of the way, almost crashed. Dog was fine. Thank God. Put your dog on a leash. Please, for the love of God, put your dog on a leash. I don't want Bitcoin to dump, and I, more than that, do not want to hit a dog with my car. And it is not fair because I am such a huge dog lover, and they almost put me in a position where the worst thing in my life almost happened, running into a dog like that with my car, because this guy doesn't want to put his dog on a leash because, oh, my dog's okay. Well, what if it's not okay and it runs in the middle of the road? God, he should lose his ability to own that dog walking on a main road without a leash. He should lose his ability to have that dog. I almost let it, I would have opened the door, let it come into my car, and I would have just drove home with it. But anyway, crazy, guys. It's like, that is, I want to consider that finding a lost dog. But, like, it's almost like dogs are like, I'm waiting for a dog to ring my doorbell. Maybe God is trying to make me get a dog. That might be the case. Pretty crazy. Like, you can't make this up. I would have sued for 10 Bitcoin. Shout out to Mr. B. Would have sued me for 10 Bitcoin or him for 10 Bitcoin? Let me know. Let's see. But what if the crypto gods need to sacrifice a dog? What would you do then? Shout out to Nick Dunn. I'm not going to lie. I don't know. I would probably not sacrifice the dog. I don't think there is no amount of money or pump on Bitcoin that you could offer me to sacrifice a dog ever in my life. But maybe I just need to get a dog. It's like crazy. I am literally a magnet for dogs. It's like dogs just walking in the street. Ooh, Frankie Candle's in a car. Whee! Unbelievable. I forgot to say that yesterday. Pretty crazy. So again, if you want to take that as a slight, Frankie found a lost dog, bearish indicator, that could be a bearish puzzle piece. We're 4 for 5 on that. 4 times we get the dump. Last time it didn't work out. So we'll see what happens. Go and get a dog. Shout out to Perry. Yeah, you get my dog. Shout out to Tremor, man. That is a old reference. I like that. AVAX looks like it's all set up for a long. Just got on. Sorry if you already covered it. Shout out to Leaf. We did not see. We did not take a look at AVAX just yet. Shout out to Alina. Hopefully I said that correctly. Shout out to you. Thank you for the super chat. Said best trader on YouTube on the market by far. So accurate. Shout out to my boy Junaid. Is that a name? Is Junaid a name? I don't know. Or is that a word? Am I gonna have to Google this? I might have to Google this. I don't know. If that is a name, that sounds like the scam comments that we get under the videos. That's like, best trader made me $100,000 in a week. Alana, or whatever her name is. Follow her. She will make you $40,000 per day. But yeah, I don't know what is. Am I gonna? All right, yeah, we'll take a look at Brett right now. Oh, look at that, Brett. XRP is down. 238. Let's see. Oh, shout out to Nick Dunn. Said, Frank, you're more of a miniature greyhound kind of guy. Yeah, maybe. Let's see. Frankie got some big bags because it's smoke a dog for 1 Bitcoin. JK. Nah, I wouldn't. I love dogs. Shout out to Vane TradFi. Yeah, there's not an amount of money. If you put, I'm not even gonna lie. Like, there's literally no amount of money like in the world. $100 billion. Take the dog or $100 billion, or sacrifice the dog. Keep the $100 billion. I'm taking the dog every single time. No questions asked. I don't care. There's no, not a chance. But yeah. But anyway, let's continue on. Bada boom, bada bing. Okay, so we'll take a look at Brett for our boy, Crypto Billy. Let's take a look at it. All right, let's take a look. See here. Is this all the price action we're going to get? There we go. All right. Well, we haven't taken a look at Brett in some time, but we do have some profiles pulled here. I'm not going to pull the lower. Maybe I will. Let me see something here. Boom. I'm not even going to mark these out. This is really far away. Okay, so just to get some context here, we came down to the low, flipped the POC up to the high. We've retested the value area high and held it. I don't hate this. To be honest, I really don't hate this. You rejected the POC a little bit here, which is not. Try to get that as accurate as possible. Yeah, we pretty much tapped that value area high. Nice that we've broken out, retested the value area high, and continued the bullish trend to the upside. Yeah, I mean, I'll say this. If you could hold this, and I'm just going to give, I don't know if you're going to come all the way back down here, but I would just say, like, as long as you hold this golden pocket, or worst case scenario, this value area high 786 between, I would say, yeah, this between 0.051 and 0.055, like, as long as you could hold above that level, and again, I'm not saying you have to come down and test this, but as long as you stay above that, you know, even the golden pocket, you hold that, maybe you test the 786, continue the trend to the upside, your doorway to higher prices remains 0.076. Flip that to support, push into the POC, flip that, go to the value area high. These are the levels I would look at. So that is, even if you pull, yeah, you're already tapping the golden pocket here. Actually, first off, I'd probably watch this zone, right? And then if you lose that, you can look at the bigger 786 value area high. Whoops, value area high confluence. Take this golden pocket off the chart because it's already incorporated in the other fib pull. So these are the two biggest levels I'd watch on Brett if we continue down. Hopefully, you can put a higher low in here, reclaim value area low, fill the range. If not, look down here. You just don't want to get accepted back into this range. You like, again, you could slip it, but you really want to just reclaim pretty quickly, right? If you get stuck under this value area high, that's your bearish doorway. As long as you can hold these levels, I would look for the continuation up. Money flow looks kind of bearish on the 2-hour money flow crossover into the red. Money flow super chopped on the 4-hour. I'm not even going to take that into consider. 8-hour money flow crossover into the red. So if you get the deeper retracement, these are definitely the levels to look at, Billy. And the line in the sand is you definitely just don't want to get accepted back into this lower value below 0.051. That's your doorway. Get stuck here. POC is probably coming next, right? You also have quick move up. Could be the quick move down to the POC. That's what I would look for. So, yeah, that's what I look for on Brett. 2-day red dot is confirmed. Also bearish divergence. But, again, as long as you can keep this money flow trending to the upside, low, higher low. If you get another higher low here, you just want that trend to continue up. And then once that two-day money flow crosses into the green, I think that's your best bet at another massive leg to the upside. 2-day money flow crossover right here. Whoops. That's a cross. I want a horizontal ray. 2-day money flow crosses into the red. Big leg to the upside. Money flow crossover into the red. Did I say the red over here? Money flow crossover into the green. Big move up. Money flow crossover into the red. Big move down. You get another money flow crossover to the green. Could be that next big move up. And those are the local prices I would be looking at on Brett. Shout out to Crypto Billy. But guys, with all that being said, I think that's all the time we got for tonight's live stream. We took a look at Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, XRP, Brett. I don't even know what else. Crow, Beam. We looked at everything. I'll try to take a look at Pengu tomorrow, or maybe I'll drop a pre-recorded market update. Shout out to Wix Wi-Fi 89 tuning in. What is going on? Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Shout out to Aaliyah. Says, Frankie, I think a pullback to the value area low of Bitcoin is kind of probable. Or for sure possible. NASDAQ is at, I guess I'm supposed to say macro 786. Shout out to Aaliyah. Take a quick look at that real quick. I don't know exactly which value area low you're talking about. Maybe you're talking about the value area low here at 89.5. I mean, I would say this. If you come down and lose that POC, it would make perfect sense. Lose the value area high, can't get back above, right? You reject it, can't get back out. POC is next. But again, this is big support. This is an area where I will be looking for a potential higher low, assuming money flow is still looking good on the higher time frames. If not, lose that POC, I would say that value area low is likely. But yeah, maybe you're talking about a local value area low. I'm not sure. But if you missed the BTCTA, guys, go ahead and scrub back to the beginning of the stream and check it out. But with all that being said, that's all the time we got for tonight's live stream. I appreciate every single one of you guys for being here. Smash that like button on your way out. It helps us out endlessly. We appreciate it more than you guys could possibly imagine. I'll see you guys tomorrow, same place, same time. Shout out to Wix Wi-Fi 89. Shout out to David. Shout out to Mr. Q. Shout out to JP. Shout out to Mr. B. Wayne Mack. Stupid Bitcoin, David, Mark Dutch, Crypto Billy, all the mods. I appreciate you all. I'll see you here tomorrow, same place, same time, 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's all I got. I actually have to run out of here, guys, so there's going to be no fake out tonight. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hasta pasta. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong!
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like, yeah, you about to see me on demand like, you know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah, at the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know, yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah, on the road, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah, at the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to